Hello again, traders. Right, this is really weird. Every time I say I'm going to have a bit of a break from social media because it takes over my life, and also because it is, I get to the point where with over 800 videos now, I think I've covered everything I need to, and probably thousands and thousands of charts. And then something like the affirmations situation crops up in my head out of the blue, and then I get all fired up again. So apologies for uh, the way things work out on social media, but it's important to me to continue helping as many people as I can, and in the hope that you guys will pay it forward and help other people in the future too. Um, so here I am back making another video that I think is pretty relevant. It's the timing discussion, and I'm sat here watching gold, and I spend my life watching charts really when I'm not doing other stuff. Every minute I'm in front of the computer, as it were, a chart is open, even whether I'm watching TV or anything that's not family related, obviously. But this chart here, I had to make a video about it because there's so much on here. Someone asked me on Twitter why my charts look so messy all the time. Well, it's because it suits me. I could get rid of everything on this chart and it would still suit me, because all I need is candles and a line chart, a couple of lines and candles. I've got a couple of lines on this chart as we speak, actually. And what I'm watching here, to get to the point, is this potential break of this high. Now, I mentioned on Twitter that gold, and I took a sort of 20 pip trade, probably 11 pips full size, and then let it run for the remainder, if memory serves. But what we're looking at here, potentially, this blue line on here is the only line I need to watch right now, along with the histo and the slope. The slope is on my charts because I'm testing it, but really and truthfully, the histo that is what sits. Also, I've got Aaron's 3CR indicator on here. The alert isn't set at the moment because I'm literally staring at this price action. And the other thing to mention, you're learning all the time. Now, all I want is a candle to close above this with the RSI histo momentum, and then I would expect it to continue to actually really hit this pivot here hard, much the same as we got the situation over here. It comes up, tests it there, and then you wait for the trigger to tell you if it's going to really give it a smack. And we are in a strong uptrend, as you can see, so there is every reason to think if it does close above that level with the candle, then expect a possible pullback again, and then potentially smash the living daylights out of that. So bearing in mind 6 or 7 pips is what I consider to be a really good day's work, which may well be a week or a month's work for a lot of people. So you can see how compounding your trades as a percentage daily, 1% daily, 1% per trade, say 5 trades a day, 5%. People think it isn't possible. It is possible, I assure you. Plenty of scalpers do it. So anyway, all we've got, that's slightly off topic, but all you've got to worry about is a close above there, then drop down the time frame to the 1 minute and look for a similar situation to happen, and then I wouldn't be surprised if this did explode. I'm not interested in short trades, but I have these levels on here drawn on different time frames. So if I do, I'll try and remind myself what I have actually drawn on here. But H4 did play a part, so yeah, H4 high, we've closed above that with H4 with momentum. That suggests to me this has got a lot further to go. There you go. So it looks messy when you look at the wicks on there, but when you see that close, and this potential candle. This is what they call uncertainty, a doji, spinning top, whatever you want to call it, as it stands now, but we've still got 2 hours 26 minutes of the candle to go, so anything can happen. This can just keep playing around here, but that's why that line is there. That's why it's important to me. You can draw an ascending trend line. You know, the line chart suggests you can do that too, because that high has been broken by the line chart there and critically closed above it. It must close. If that doji there was what this was here, or this candle was open, excuse me, this would be a totally different scenario, because this could become a shooting star. You know, you could have no body there, massive tail, a little bit of body here, and then price would be around here, and you're potentially crashing. But again, I digress. So it's so important to, you know, look at the candles and really understand what's going on. Sorry, that's from a different template, I should imagine. What else have we got going on here that I can talk about? I wanted to talk about. So talked about the RSI giving us a positive thing, the H4 break above that. There was another level on there I drew, I think, H4, that's the H4 there. As you can see, this on H1 now is looking not particularly good to test that MA, but there's that pivot rather, but there's our 5-minute line still there. We've come down, we've tested all of this support, resistance as support, perfectly good. This was a 3CR on the M30, not sure whether it was on the H1. It was an internal sort of inside bar broken by a massive outside bar, which again would have suggested this pullback has got to happen. So, you know, you're reading multiple time frame candlesticks, which in my opinion cannot be beaten. You know, you don't need any of the other stuff on here, just your line chart, your candlesticks, so that you can flick between the two for the confirmations, and you know, very basic supply and demand, support and resistance levels. You know, other thing to mention about this is a sort of 2B reversal pattern. That would have been Vic Sperandio's low. This would have been his poke bar, pokes through the low of that, and that would have been Vic Sperandio's entry. So, you know, a descending trend line. You can just go on forever with this stuff. Line chart high would have been there as well. There, so we could have had a close above that at that point. So, you know, you just have to understand your own process of eliminating what you shouldn't be doing, and you know, suggesting to yourself what you should be doing. Breakout, 2B reversal, close above there, another descending trend line. But the most important thing at this point is it must coincide with a momentum trigger, and that is why this thing is so priceless. You know, and it's always, remember guys, look to the left of your charts. Look to the left to see what should have been doing. So when we're looking at this, we could be looking at this to say, yeah, right, okay, it's done this, that, and the other. Or we could be looking at this instance here in the RSI, or we could be looking at this massive breakout when I was having a cat nap after trading the Asian session, some of the Asian session, and a GJ breakout pre-Frankfurt and London Open. So, and just one last thing, look how this was another reason for making this video. Look at these things here. This box is the H4, the Asian session H4, and it used that level. The green high is the Asian session high, and look how it used that level. Then it tested the R1, it's come back and tested the Asian high, come back and broken at R1, and never assume it's going to hit these levels. You know, this is why I scalp 5 or 6 pips a trade, or, you know, in gold, if I really do like the look of the chart, and that's discretionary, but that can only be achieved with hours and hours of screen time. But like here, if you were considering a short after this massive move up, never assume it's going to come back and test that. Just take your 7 or 8 pips out of that, and then maybe set your runner target for that. But look what would have happened if you had assumed. But there's another easy way, and I saw this on someone's chart yesterday, I forget whose, but always look for the last resistance high on a pullback. So sort of this level here and this level here, we can put levels on them. That candle there is what I'm talking about. Oops, it didn't drag and drop the level I wanted. There, and that would be the safest place to expect price to go and bounce. No idea why, not sure whether it's the algorithms that use it, but I've used this time and time again. Again, never assume this is going to come back to that high there, because in this pullback, but you can assume that once that level there is closed above that, that we need to drop down the lower time frame. So if this was a H1, you'd need to check M30, watch the pullback, and if M30 reversed on itself, you'd need to check M15 and M5. But as we're looking at an M5 chart, the only lower one that I want to go to is M1. So a break of that level, a close of that level should I say, I would then drop to M1, watch the pullback. If it doesn't pull back, the only way you can get in that safely is to watch your momentum, and also possibly trade the break or close above the M1 chart. Remember, it's potentially going to bounce around there, but these are all things that you can only do by watching and possibly demo trading or paper trading, whatever you want to call it, and learning from those moves. So always have one eye on the clock, looking at the countdown, so you must have that on your charts in my opinion. Always have one eye on where you are in relation to the H4 and the H1. You know, entering a trade just after, or should I say, yeah, just after an H1 close is very risky, because you know, an H1 close often creates a pullback. But again, that's all about screen time. You've got to learn these nuances for yourself. You know, all we can do is give you a sort of a path to follow, and then you just have to make it work for you, whatever works. Line charts, all the different stuff I have on my charts now, which I have to admit to everyone or anyone or to myself that I used to struggle. But when you add one thing back and a second thing back and a third thing back, you can then you know, it just gives you multiple reasons to possibly enter a trade or stay out of a trade. You know, that little box there is the Billy TT. I talk about him on Forex Factory. Fantastic ex-professional trader. All he trades, or all he used to trade when I put that box on there, was the breakout of that box on cable. 5 pips and he'd stop for the day. And 5 pips, I know in the past he let slip, is worth 3 grand to him. I also know that in the past he's traded one trade and bought a house with the proceeds. You know, I have no reason to disbelieve Billy, because he is, you know, he's been around for eons, literally, and sharing and helping people. So, you know, you can be dismissive of these excellent traders like Claudia 1, Billy TT, Lem. I can't pronounce his name, so I just call him Lem. Some sort of French name, and other guys on Forex Factory. They are gold, solid gold. So guys, thanks for watching. Sorry this went on far longer than I expected to, probably because I'm still watching this do its stuff. In fact, I shall pause this and we'll see whether it does do what I expect or hope it does. Expect it, hope it, call it what you like. So I'm back. I was distracted with other stuff, Twitter and phone calls, but so I didn't actually trade this. But if you look at this now, you can see we actually had a new. We never got an entry here, and we carried on down, pushing on back. Interesting to see that is generally where you've got this accumulation of 3CRs going on there, and it found support there, buyers there, call it what you like. And then we got a 3CR up. We also got a momentum trigger to the upside there, break of the 20 level and the break of that original high. But in fact, what I would have done had I been considering trading this is I would have drawn the level there to close above, so that and then flip to the lower the candles. As you can see, this one here, it would only have needed to close above that low there with power to have been a trigger. And as you can see, the 3CR closed with power, and we could have got in on this candle using just the 3CR and the newly drawn descending trend line break there. Safety would have been the keyword, as it were, and that gap to test that R2 level filled to the pip, and that was, if you'd entered there, give or take a few pips for the spread, that was a 20 pip move, give or take. As I say, an 18 pip, that's just crazy. And that is a textbook entry. 2B reversal once again, 2B reversal there, 2B reversal there. These you could call, if you were an Elliott Wave fan, ABC reversals, push up, ABC, push up, and you know, what can I say really? The method works. You've just got to employ discipline, which is what the 3CR and the RSI do for us, and patience. And as you can see, there was no entry prior to that, no entry there, no momentum. Then finally momentum came in. There was some news at this point as well, so I wasn't really interested in getting involved in trades at news. As you can see, we've had monster moves now as a result of this, but you can't go short, just wait for the longs. Simple as that. As I said, I think earlier in this video, there is no short whatsoever here, not even a Simon's vol bomb situation going on here. Got a little bit of divergence going on now, so it would be very dangerous trying to trade into that R2, but a break and close above it, all the usual rules applying, of course, and maybe. But that's it for me today. I've got to go out now, and we'll probably have a play later on. But don't chase the trades, just draw the levels, set your alerts, which I did do in this instance after I paused the video, and just wait and let it do its stuff. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.